The stalkers of pop stars were the inspiration behind the new thriller/comedy Borderline, including Amy Winehouse, Britney Spears, and largely inspired by Madonna in her stalker story. There are nods to Madonna too, and a bunch of other fun facts I'm gonna tell you about. This is the directorial debut of Jimmy Warden, who is married to the Samara Weaving, who stars in this alongside Jack Nicholson's son, Ray Nicholson, who was also in another pop star horror recently, Smile 2. It's basically about a pop star in the 90s whose home is invaded by an obsessive fan that believes they're meant to be married. Does that remind you of anyone? Madonna's stalker. In 1996, a man was convicted and sentenced to 10 years for stalking and threatening her life. He reportedly told her bodyguard that he was going to, her throat if she didn't marry him. He even escaped the mental hospital, but was quickly apprehended before anything could happen. Also, Jimmy Fails plays a character that is essentially Dennis Rodman and kind of represents the brief relationship that him and Madonna had. The title, Borderline, is a nod to Madonna's song, and Warden also said that the Flaming Lips cover of Borderline is basically the inspiration behind the entire movie. He, quote, saw scenes of the movie playing out when he listened to it, so a lot of the movie was written with it playing. Samara Weaving learned to sing and play piano to Celine Dion's song It's All Coming Back to Me Now, which is in a very intense scene. The only creative differences that Warden and Weaving had, they said, was when they argued about a wig, because she wanted a wig for her character because she said her hair was dying, but he said no wigs. She was upset, but then she got her hair dyed more blonde like he wanted, and she was like, he was right, I think, because wigs are really hard. When Weaving was asked what the biggest challenge was when making this film, she said that it was trying not to laugh at Ray Nicholson because he's so funny. She says, quote, it was just trying not to break because he was such an impulsive actor and would make these insane choices that were not planned or in rehearsal. Samara Weaving says that a trick to help her act terrified in a scene is to use music. She has a playlist called her Cry playlist. She puts her headphones in, then hyperventilates and looks around with darting eyes. And lastly, she says she does not have a trick for her blood-curdling scream that she did on the late night show with James Corden, and she doesn't know why it comes out the way it does. She said she discovered that she could do that when she worked on the show Ash vs. Evil Dead.